After the decline of Jewish communities in the Holy Land and Babylon thousands of years ago, Jews found new life in Europe, where they blossomed into Ashkenaz and Sepharad. Though Jews altogether, they had differences in culture, language, genetics, nuances in their ritual observance, and music. Ashkenazi Jews were settled in Europe, and many of them were from places such as Bohemia, Polish, Russian, and Prussian countries. Contemporary Ashkenazim are Yiddish-speaking Jews and descendants of Yiddish-speaking Jews. Sephardims originate in the Iberian Peninsula and the Arabic lands. Music has been the center of many cultures for centuries. Ashkenazi Jews practiced music that incorporated features with modes, scale, and cantorial articulations similar to other forms of peasantry or gypsy music. In the early times, this music was known as Yiddish music. It was only in the late 20th century that the word Klezmer came to identify it as a musical genre. The term Klezmer, as used in the Yiddish language, has a Hebrew composition: klei, meaning tools, utensils, or instruments, and zemer, melody, together leading to klezmer, meaning musical instruments. Some of the roots of Klezmer music is said to be found as early as the 15th century, based on town records and memoirs. It was developed on the basis of ancient Jewish music, but was heavily influenced by the music of Eastern Europe, primarily Bessarabian folk music. Klezmer music was typically heard during weddings, dancing occasions, and religious services such as the Jewish Sabbath. Historically, it combined cantorial singing by both men and women who would also perform to the music along with melodies from different instruments. Through the worsening of many pogroms and persecution events that escalated between the late 1800s through the mass extermination that occurred during World War II by the Nazis, Jews were forced to exile. During these times in history filled with sadness, the rabbis at the time declared that Jews should hold back from listening or playing music, and women were not allowed to sing or perform at weddings anymore. These events yielded the instrumental nature of Klezmer music becoming the new popular norm. Another reason that Klezmer music is made up mostly instrumental is because most of the musicians that played at the time did not know how to read or write. Notwithstanding the tragedies of the time, music lived in the spirit of Jewish people, and music never really disappeared. A Yiddish proverb states, "A wedding without klezmorim is like a funeral without tears." During these exile times of the Jews, Klezmer music came to the United States as the Eastern European Jews migrated to Ellis Island. Klezmer musicians brought their collections and skills to America and recreated the music that once was played in Eastern European cities and towns. Many musicians brought over the typical instruments used for Klezmer music. As Klezmer music came into contact with American jazz, Jewish American musicians integrated old and new techniques into Klezmer music, which became a very popular set list for Jewish weddings in the United States. One of the most explicit examples of Klezmer music that highlights the symbolic identity of Ashkenazi Jews is called doinya. With Romanian roots, this type of music is folk style, melancholy and free rhythm, and it was played by local bands. You can get a glimpse of this music style from the following song by Sofia Viconvenga called Go Away Longing in the Wilderness.
Da lui mașina-am puită, Tomui cu jele lui n-are grijă Ai te Tomu cânt de jale când iese dorul
An An immense number of new forms have been written and have made their way into TV and movie soundtracks. An example of a movie that incorporates klezmer music is Fiddler on the Roof and its famous song, If I Were a Rich Man.
If I were a rich man, yabba-dibba-dibba-dibba-dibba-dibba-dum. All day long I biddy-biddy-bum. If I were a wealthy man, I wouldn't have to work hard. Yabba-dibba-dibba-dibba-dibba-dibba-dibba-dum. If I were a biddy-biddy rich, idle-diddle-diddle-diddle man,
In the past 40 years, there has been a klezmer revival movement, incorporating jazz, rock music, R&B, and more into klezmer. The revival inspired Jews to open the first Klez Camp, a Yiddish folk arts program, in America, and other camps soon followed all around the world. The Jewish people have a strong pride for their culture and traditions, as they have had to endure many pains and prove their importance throughout the years. As Torino mentions, ethnomusicologists have emphasized the importance of music for expressing and creating social identities in many societies around the world. Jewish people show their identity in a variety of different ways through their music, and Ashkenazi klezmer music is one such form of expression.